Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Danotage Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We're gonna jump into this. We're just gonna go with Isaac today. But I wanted to jump in here and hold on before we get the seed here. L29E 9V MX MXPX MXPX. I'm gonna age myself by saying that. We're probably going to step onto hard pretty soon. I wanted to jump in and kind of just get a little bit of practice in, as we've been trying to do, but I think one of the major things that I'm not doing well on, and I think this goes with like maybe a lot of games, is doing one run at a time or one run a day. Because, you know, I was like, oh, we'll do one video a day. It'll be fine. It makes things a little bit tricky because it's not the same thing as riding a bike for the most part, especially in a game like this, because especially if you haven't, you know, put like hundreds of hours into riding said bike, it's not as easy to just pick right back up. Obviously, we've played a lot of games that are like this, but they're all pretty different, and it doesn't have the same type of mechanic necessarily, or has the same mechanics, but not the same feel. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. I'm gonna go back real quick, because I know there's a couple more rooms over here. But I think we're getting better. I definitely do want to, we might even bump the videos up to like 2 or 3 times a day, just because, you know, I could very much practice this on my own, but I think you guys want to see the progress as we go. The weird thing is, this is absolutely not a new game. So, and I know I've said that before, but I reiterate that because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are probably going to watch these videos and be like, dude, why is he so bad at this? Like, this game is so easy compared to whatever is happening. But I think that a lot of people will probably not necessarily recognize that maybe some people you've been playing this for a while and don't really remember what it was like to be new again. Then again, at the same time, maybe you were very good. And I am very used to a lot of other games. Right now I'm playing a ton of Hades, which in Hades you can sort of get yeah, you can get away with certain things. And the one thing that, again, that I don't like necessarily about modern roguelites is random bosses don't necessarily occur too much. Also, I'm not very good at this boss. We're going to run that back because I don't understand that boss very well, I think. New seed. PPP. He said PP. YV. Sorry. PPPY4VSY. Because that's just how it goes. I don't know. I've lost to that boss, I think, more than I think any boss. I don't know why I don't understand that boss. Maybe somebody can help me out there. But essentially, there's something to the fact that I think the randomness that comes with Pip there is a little bit tricky. I'm sure there are some tells that I probably can pick up on, but I'm gonna have to learn those, obviously, and we're probably gonna have to learn that the hard way. I'm sure that we can look up a wiki and do it that. I haven't looked at any wikis yet. I figured since we kind of understand this and YouTube has been kind of coaching me a little bit with some of the coaching comments and stuff like that, I think we're going to be able to figure that out. I don't know why that happened. Was that a luck thing? Is that based on the little doll we have there too? I have no idea. Anyway, so what's been happening today? So today I picked up some new Pokemon cards that I'm excited to open up. And we're going to talk about Pokemon a little bit. But I wanted to also bring up the fact that this morning when I woke up, I was like, oh, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to actually watch a movie while I'm like having my coffee and sort of getting some work done, answering some emails and stuff like that. And Katie and I just subscribed to HBO Max to kind of test it out before we even knew that I think we get it like free with Amazon Prime. Just as like because it's like an Amazon, it's not an Amazon entity, but they very much made an agreement with Amazon very recently. So you get Amazon sorry, not Amazon Max. That's like Amazon Prime Extra. After Dark. Listen to him. Listen to me. Let's go. He's the After Dark, the greatest, the one that ever lived. But you get HBO Max, which is fairly new because it's not HBO Go, and I can't remember if they rebranded or whatever it was, because I've had HBO Go before and it kind of seems like there's the same stuff on there, like Silicon Valley and all the HBO shows Game of Thrones is all on there too. So they might have totally just rebranded. I have no idea. Somebody probably knows way more than I do at that point. But anyway, we get it free with Amazon Prime now, which is great. Because it has like all the DC movies and has all the DC stuff, some of the cartoon movies and some of the shows and stuff like that, like Young Justice and whatnot, which is really good, by the way. Young Justice is fantastic. But the big thing is it's going to be showing Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day, and you can stream it live right there, I believe, with just the subscription, which is pretty cool. All on HBO Max, which is great. They talked about it being in theaters again, but considering we're, still pretty locked down here in Los Angeles, I doubt that any movie theaters are going to be live or going to be working, so I'm sure it's going to be somewhere where it's a lot less prevalent. But we will see. Oh, this is going to be bad. There we go. All right. There's too many flies. Let me get rid of the flies real quick. But with that being said, I'm excited to see all those. And what I did watch this morning was one of my favorite DC movies to come out in the past couple years was Shazam. Shazam was actually one of my favorite DC movies to come out. I know that like people talk about a lot of the DC movies and dropping the ball and stuff like that, whatever. I personally think that while the DC movies they're not the blockbuster type writing or directing as like some of the Marvel movies, I think they're cool because they tend to be a little bit more accurate, actually a lot more accurate to the stories that, a lot of us grew up with in the comics and stuff like that. And I know most people will come in, it's like, well, I mean, we're past that. We've already read those stories. Why do we want to read those stories again? It's like, well, if you really think about it, we've read basically every story out there. We know about every story out there. There's different versions of them in very different ways. Like when people talk about Avatar is just Ferngully, you're like, well, yeah, well, but that's so obvious. That's so obviously there, so it takes us out of the element of saying, hey, I can see exactly what you're trying to do here. And yeah, I get that. You definitely want to trick people so that it doesn't necessarily feel like the same thing. That goes with like podcasts, that goes with movies, it goes with everything, every type of anything, whether it's a product or a piece of entertainment or whatever it might be. You're always dealing with that. And I just lost my Devil Deal chances. But I don't think we hardly ever get Devil Deals in the first floor. Anyway. Oh god. Anyway, I think there's something to the fact that accuracy lends well to certain genres. When it comes to like war movies and stuff like that, accuracy can kind of just be overkill and a little bit redundant. Because you think about war movies, you're like, oh, the military stuff is not accurate. It's like, well, I think there's a lot of people that might not want the accuracy because unless, obviously, unless you're getting shot at, being in the military can be kind of boring sometimes. And that doesn't really provide for anything very entertaining. And the same thing with like, specifically to like fighter jet movies or piloting and stuff like that. Most piloting, like, there's almost never most pilots, I think, in the military don't even see, like, they don't see combat really. So it's like, it's super rare for something like that to happen. Top Gun is very much about training, but the whole, like, combat parts of Top Gun, that's extremely rare. They even mention that in the movie. They're like, nobody sees a MiG up that close. And that's fairly an accurate assumption, or a very accurate statement, which is nobody does see that. So the fact that Maverick and Goose were able to see that was pretty huge. So, now that they've kind of said something like that, you can sort of assume that most of what you would normally see is pretty not normal. And so the reason for accuracy, and the reason that accuracy is cool is because, again, it reminds us of kind of the things we grew up with and whatnot. The things that we... Oh, this is a good item, isn't it? Shoop da whoop, Blaaarrgh. Is this like... Oh, it's a space bar. Yeah, that's right. So accuracy comes into play a lot of the time. It comes into, like, hey, I know what this is gonna give me. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what it's gonna actually show me. Pestilence. Alright. Did I use my charges there? Oh, ouch. Does this teleport me to the boss, or is it just a different boss? Oh, I thought I'd get by that. Ow. Oh, this is bad. Is the trick here to bait shots into places where you're not going to be? All right, so I've never fought Pestilence before. This is going to be interesting. I'm curious. Oh, ouch. Oh, that was my that was actually my Devil Deal shot there. Because that was red health. See, I know a couple things. I know a couple things about Isaac. But that was okay, that was the actual boss. Do we want to see the rest of the room here? Or the rest of the floor? Probably not, actually. Oh, I think... Pretty sure I almost just got hit there. Let's not worry about that. Let's just get out of here. Let's get out of here. It's not gonna... We don't want to be here too long. Plus, the video is probably gonna run extra long because we did restart. Nice. See, I got my tinted rocks too. See, I'm not a complete noob. I got some things. But I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely curious how interesting is it to watch a newer player? Because I'm not gonna keep repeating myself as I have been saying, oh yeah, I've known about this game forever. I've even played it since the beginning. Because, you know, I have, but not very much. So, I mean, in all intents and purposes, like I said, I'm very much a new player. So I'm curious, like, is it fun watching a new player kind of try things out? I feel like there's probably a lot of people out there that are like, that might even be yelling at their computers or their tablets or their phones or whatever you're watching this on, being like, what do you think you're doing? You should know these things. You're not a complete noob. Please just give me a break. Stuff like that. We don't want that. It's fine. Just give me something. Oh, it actually did give us something we wanted. All right, whatever. Let me see. Can we get anything out of here? More hearts? We're just gonna spend all our money. Because we don't want to take red heart damage there, because that will ruin our Devil Deal, won't it? So yeah, I mean, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just genuinely curious on whether or not people actually do like watching new people play certain things. I know it depends on the game for me. Like when it comes to Hades, since considering Hades is still fairly new, I like watching people like learn a lot of the cool stuff and seeing some of the dialogue for the first time and whatnot. What is this? Amnesia. Okay. Seeing the dialogue for the first time. I keep saying that I'm not going to use pills anymore, but I need to stick with that because pills are almost always bad. I think we can genuinely agree on that. Can we just kill these things? Are they shuffling too? Alright. So, I think as long as we stay somewhat vigilant here, this is going to be a decent run. Rainbow. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I should have probably used my spacebar there. Didn't even think about it. I wonder if that sort of stuff comes into a thought process when they talk about like seed and stuff like that. Let's get these bombs. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not gonna waste the bomb there because we can easily go back and get some health. We might even get health with this boss here. What do we have? But yeah, I mean, back to like, the movies and stuff like that. Watching Shazam again was really cool, and being able to see like some of the even accuracy in the cinematography, where like people talk about how much Iron Man kind of sucked and how bad it was. I think it was fun. I really enjoyed it. But it had a lot to do with the accuracy of seeing things. Yeah, we'll take that. Seeing things that I remember looking at and being such in awe about when I saw it in the comic book for the first time. Like when, if you guys haven't seen the movie, it's not really a spoiler. It's not anything about the story. But there's a point at which Aquaman dives down into the water and he goes into the Marianas Trench, which, as we know here on Earth, it is the deepest part of the ocean that we've been able to detect. Pretty much, with radar, we can tell that it is the deepest part of the ocean, deepest part of the Earth, pretty much, that we can even get to physically, as long as we have the pressure protection to get down there. But essentially, he dives down and he's being chased by all these, I forget what they're called, but the like dark Dementor type demon things, the sea monsters essentially. And he does this big dive down there, and it's one of the covers for the story that the movie story is based off of. And as much as that may not be nostalgic for like some of the younger audience, that is still something that's really cool because you're like, oh, all this technology that we've developed, we've actually been able to re-enhance something that has existed in the past. And you know, in one retrospect, if you look at it, it's kind of like how remasters work in most parts of the video game industry. Did that not work? Oh, I didn't get that back. Hold on. What's happening here? Oh, that's how it works. I didn't realize that you had to be shooting for it to work. Okay. Okay, let's do this. So you think about it, now that we have new technology and we can make movies look cooler and better, why would you not want things to go from like your childhood and see things like that? I mean, I remember like the end of, do we want this? No, I think we want this still. I remember the end of Daredevil season like 1 or 2. I think it was 2. He did like the iconic, he's got his sticks behind his head jumping off a building shot, and I was like, I think most people probably think that's cheesy, but I think that's really cool. I thought that was freaking awesome because it was something that I remember seeing as a kid. And you know, a lot of the time you're like, oh, when they say the title of the movie in the movie, it's cheesy, but it's like, this isn't necessarily the same, although you can equate it. You can equate it to something like that. But I do genuinely think that it's different enough. Oh, that was a bad move. It's different enough to where it still is pretty cool. But I'm also I'm one of those people that sometimes I'm cool with cheesy stuff. If something's cheesy because everybody says it's cheesy, usually I'm the one that likes it because I just like to be contrarian, I think, unfortunately, as much as I don't like the whole contrarian attitude because it usually comes off as negative. It's mostly I like things because most people don't like them. Maybe it's me trying to force positivity. I don't know. I'm not really here to analyze that right now. But the point is, like, I try my best to see like the good in things. Oh, I keep doing that. I need to stop. We have 1 heart left. I could probably get away with it. We're gonna find out. If I stay above him, does that work? Or above or below, or is it only like, oh, I got hit by that. Oh no. Okay. I don't know. I'm not gonna restart again for this video, but holy crap, that was, we could have totally had that one. I think we got some decent items. It was okay. I think we're gonna probably, like I said, I think we're gonna bump our videos up to possibly 2 a day because I'm not gonna run you through like 3 different types of runs in one video. I'm going to try to give you as many videos as possible and have them be complete runs. I'm still learning. I'm still getting better. Unfortunately, right now it's going to be some painstaking deaths, but I think we'll get there eventually. And like I said, if you got some coaching comments that might help me, please put it in the comments and let me know. Once again, if we do go back and we get our likes that we're going for, I think we're on a like streak right now. So if we keep that up, we'll give away some copies of Repentance. I want to be very careful in saying how many we give away because, once again, I don't know when that's going to be. That Repentance could come out in like 5 years from now. It could be Northern Lion's brand new daughter that grows up to, I think this is like a Malf theory or a Josh theory, that grows up to actually become a computer programmer and a video game designer and actually makes the DLC Repentance because, well, you know, that's just how it goes. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like. Or if you really didn't enjoy it and you're like, dude, these videos actually suck. Not my gameplay, but the videos themselves actually suck. Give it a dislike. I mean, that's just, you know, as much as it sucks to see dislikes, it still lets me know what's going on. And if I see too many dislikes, I'll change some stuff. But if you really like what's going on, please leave that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. I have been Danotage, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.